Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air here on a Saturday morning. We're glad that you have joined us this morning, and it's early. It is early. So, at a late night last night, it was a good night. We'll be talking about all of the third and the semifinal games in 7A, but all the third round games across all the other classifications. We'll be talking about college football, everything under the sun that's not really out yet that we'll be talking about this morning. Big win last night for the Wildcats.
No, I'll start with that, Brett. Great win last night. Hueytown brought in, a team like we've gotten used to seeing. This is our third matchup with Hueytown in a short period of time, and they're always really, really good on the defensive front. I'll start there. And when you're good at that position, Brett, like we are this year,
Yes,
it makes all the matchups a little more equal, doesn't it? And
it does.
we've had unfortunate times in our program where you get who you get in Elliott City for the most part. I mean, you either have size or you don't. And a lot of years, Brett and I have called games, and that'll lead me to something else for Brett here shortly. But somebody that looks like me or Brett's having to play defensive end, or they're having to play linebacker, and it's not that we don't get the most out of them, but you just don't match up all that well. What we've seen with Hueytown, and I thought it was the same last night, Brett, big physical, athletic defensive linemen, and make it very difficult to do exactly what you want to do in the running game. But get a big win, 40-13, kind of pull away late. Didn't score any points in the first quarter, Brett. So score 40 in the last three.
Crazy.
Tells you how well we played to close that thing out.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to start there. I'm glad you brought that up. Another slow start offensively. And Coach Johnson's been concerned with that, to be honest, playing 4 quarters. And I know we've got to do that next week. I mean, you can't take a quarter off against a team that we'll talk plenty about that game. But, again, kind of getting your legs under you. But to be able to explode and score that much in 3 quarters tells you all you need to know about this team. And once they got their feet under them, I thought the offensive game plan was perfect. Coach Johnson talked to me about it during the week and taking advantage of the aggressiveness of their defense and their defensive front. So had a lot of screen game set up in the first half. And Kingston, you can say, okay, a team's aggressive, I'm going to throw a bunch of screens. It don't work that way. And it's how they were designed and how they were disguised. And you got to have a quarterback that can hold the ball until the very last moment to really sell it. And when you got 3 D1 defensive linemen like Hueytown breathing down your neck, that's a little bit easier said than done. But Kingston delivered the ball on time almost every time. And it set up explosive plays. And, the screen pass to Sedarian down the sideline, he made an individual effort that was unbelievable. But that's part of this offensive staff's mindset. And being able to scheme and get teams exploited in their weaknesses or take advantage of their over-aggressiveness, it's a well-called game by the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it was. And, in the first quarter, we were having a little bit of success running the football. I thought Jai got going pretty good, and you didn't know if you were going to have to lean on that. But I think going into the second quarter, and I'll kind of segue over to one of the best single performances I've ever seen, and I'd like to hear your thoughts as you've caught a whole bunch of these, Brett. but you felt like one had to get involved in the game. Of course, they had safety help over the top on him. We're not going to let Cedarian Morgan just beat him in one-on-one coverages down the field. We saw that against Tuscaloosa County a couple of weeks ago where they said, okay, I've got an athlete that we're going to match up. I'm not going to have safety help over the top. If one beats us, and one beat them that night. That's how good he was. But last night was a little more difficult, but I think it was a little bit more impressive than even some of the other games that we've seen with Cedarian. And I'll segue into this because it was a topic that I wanted to bring up to you. And for those of you that are tuning in around the state, you chime in what you've seen before. But Brett's in his 303rd broadcasted game for Ben Russell. Now, he's been doing it a very long time. And we've had the good fortune, when I go around the state and I talk about our program, Brett, first thing I say is we're going to have athletes every year. I don't sit around and worry whether Elliott City is going to produce athletes. We're going to have skill guys. Now, whether we're going to grow 6'4", 290, that's a totally different conversation for us to have. But we're going to have
more often. But
but that's going to always be. Can we get a few of those guys? But Cedarian's performance last night, and we've had performances where stats have been better, probably. But I think when you look at stats, especially from a receiver standpoint, Brett, you've got to take that into account. He did have 9 catches, which is a big number last night. And he did have 256 yards last night. But all 9 of them were so impressive. That's the separator. When we've had great running backs in the past that had over 300 yards rushing, or we had Tyree Gray who had 250 yards rushing, it's a lot more attempts, Brett, and a lot easier to just turn and hand the ball to that guy, or the quarterback just keep the ball in his hands. I mean, everybody knows we want one to have the ball, but you got to scheme up to get one the ball. Yeah. And then when you get one the ball, he's got to go and make plays like he did last night. That's not necessarily just high point this ball and you go make a 6'5", 215-pound play on it. It wasn't that last night. Cedarian caught dig routes across the middle of the field. He caught post routes. He caught comeback routes on the sideline. We put him at tight end. We did an old school tight end dump out of the shotgun formation, showing a give to the running back. And he made people miss all night. And his physical nature and the way that he plays the game the right way is a separator for me. So, here's a couple of performances I've seen. And I want to get your 303 broadcasted games, but Brett and I have been watching Ben Russell games way before those 303. So I can go back even further. And, I was talking to this individual's cousin last night after the game, and he's calling Cedarian Ced. And the whole thing coming across my mind as he keeps saying Ced is Ced Kendrick.
Yeah,
and,
no doubt.
You and I went on the road and watched Aniston beat Ben Russell's brains in so bad in the late 80s when Aniston won that first state championship. And then the following year, and you got to remember, we were playing for an area title that game.
Right.
We had a very good football team. And that was a state championship team with Steve Christopher and Orlando Waters and the entire crew at Aniston. And I think we were slightly late getting there that night. And we were down 21-0 before I walked into the stadium.
Probably didn't even need to show up.
Need to turn around and just go back home. But Ced Kendrick the following year ran for over 300 yards against Aniston. I think he was named the USA Today Player of the Week nationally following that performance.
That's always nice.
Yeah, and this was before you got this is when you got named the National Player of the Week at Ben Russell High School in like 1990. This is not everybody's got a Twitter account and people are naming players of the week. Like this is like there's really only one, and it's in the major newspaper, which, by the way, young folks out there that are tuning in, that's where we got our news. Ron Ingram gave us our news, or Lori Dan gave us our news when we were coming up. I mean, we didn't get Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee that called the game the night before to throw some stats out there. We actually had to go buy a newspaper to see that the following morning. So, I remember that night. I can go back and remember a few others that I thought were unbelievable, but, last night, single-handedly, Cedarian Morgan impressed me as much as anyone that I've ever I had the good fortune of broadcasting. You and I called, and then I'll kick it back over to you. So get your thoughts together, Brett. But you and I called Beauregard State Championship game about a decade ago with LaDamian Webb. And he had 57 carries that night for 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. And they just kept turning and giving to their best player. And that's impressive. It's one that you and I always talk about. But I'm going to go back to the way that I started this. There's a big difference between I'm snapping to you every play, go make me a play,
right,
than a receiver that everybody knows that we've got to keep the ball out of his hands. And the 9 chances he gets, he puts on a show like Sedarian did last night. It was a thing of beauty, Brett.
I couldn't have said it any better. I think Sedarian, and I said this back when Tyree was here, and, I said it when Malcolm was playing a few years ago. In the moment, you don't really you just keep moving along. I think with the team and the coaches and, us as broadcasters, you're calling the games, you appreciate it, but the further away you get from it, the more you appreciate it. And like reflecting on last night's game and the sheer single performance of Sedarian and everybody else, we're just talking about Sedarian right now. I'm appreciating it more and more immediately now, and in the moment and watching and the plays. And I know we'll break the game down here in just a minute, but just the plays that he's making. And you go, hey, at most, I've got this for 2 more games here at this school, and he's moving on. And so you learn to appreciate it. You learn to take it in. You learn to go, man, maybe there will be another one. We hope so. Another guy come along, do the same things, or even break that. Because, when we were growing up and those guys you were just talking about, we were like, oh, man, it's the best player we've ever seen. We idolized them. There's other kids that are idolizing these kids now at the high school. And so, yeah, I've learned to appreciate it more as it's happening rather than, hey, let's just get to the next game. Let's win a state championship. I'm taking it all in. So I hope we play 2 more games. You're going to play 1 more. You're going to be in the semifinal against Saraland. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But, look, I'm just, as we have our highlights posted this morning with Will, it just, to me, it really kind of brings it full circle that you look at a program that's got a lot of history, and you and I talk about this all the time, and like a catch that Sedarian made on the sideline, you almost start expecting that to be the norm, and you take it for granted a little bit because you're like, okay, because he can make those plays. And I said it on the air last night, that's unfair to him. You got to stop and take in that this kid is 18 and he just made his body contorted in a way that you shouldn't be able to do it for just a simple little 11-yard pass. But he makes things look routine, and that's what outstanding players do. They make crazy, like impossible things look like they're routine. And that's the best way I can describe Sedarian. He makes that kind of stuff look like it's routine. And then I can't say enough about Kingston pre-year. And I know we got to go to break, and we'll come back and talk about him. But I have never seen a high school quarterback and had the pleasure, and you have too, of calling a young man that's that well put together that's 15 years old. I'm just saying, and Coach Johnson and I have had this conversation. I wouldn't have done, man, I think back when I was 15 and some of the stupid stuff that I was doing and you were and everybody else. And this kid looks like he's a 4-year veteran in the NFL. I mean, just the way he's carrying himself and handling his business and not letting himself get caught up in things that 15-year-olds get caught up in. He's just so mature for his age. And so is Charles Chappelle. And those guys bring a level of maturity that you can't coach, man. You cannot coach that into somebody. You have that or you don't have it.
You can help it though.
No, you can help it. No, you can help it.
That's the one thing, and I know we got to go to break, and let's carry this over, but that's the one thing I've seen with great coaches and leaders like Kirk Johnson and his staff, but starting with Kirk.
Yeah.
You can really help by leading and being someone that talks about it well before the time comes, Brett. And, I sat in with a leadership forum with them, and to watch the way they interacted with one another before the season started and to see the way that they handled themselves last night, it makes you not surprised. And Kirk Johnson special. Ooh, we haven't seen one any better than him. And I know he's new into this, and he's still a very young coach. But if you told me he was an SEC coach one day, I'd believe it. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. He's that good to me.
And that's another thing. I mean, you're looking at a guy that's I mean, his coaching record's unbelievable and what he's been able to do. But all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about all these scores. We'll talk some more about this game and a lot more. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right here, right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
Craving pizza done right? Come to Lake Martin Pizza, where flavor meets the lake, with 2 locations, 63 South in Alexander City and Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Grab a 14 or 18-inch specialty pizza or build your own masterpiece. Go half and half your way. In a hurry, stop in for our lunch specials. Hot, fresh pizza by the slice, served daily. We've got more than just pizza. Try our fresh salads, cheesy breadsticks, garlic knots, and sweet cinnamon twists. Lake days, game nights, or family dinners, Lake Martin Pizza hits the spot every time.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Here at Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, we value what truly makes a home. And that's why we're proud to offer America's #1 brand of siding and exterior products. James Hardie creates possibilities with an array of colors and textures. We offer the full line of James Hardie products, from Hardie plank to artisan siding and everything in between, giving you, our customer, options to have the best. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, local since 1984.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability, and eligibility may vary.
Saturday Sports Countdown, or welcome back if you've been with us. We appreciate it so much. JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. And as this show goes along, my voice will get better. It's already getting better, but man, I'll be honest. I slept right up until the time for us to come on the air. So I'm sure my mouth was wide open and I was probably peeling paint. So I apologize to Kim downstairs because I am tired. But I, look, on mornings like this, I'm proud to be up with a little bit of a raspy voice. And that tells all of you out there that, you know, it was probably a pretty good night, and it was a pretty good night for Benjamin Russell as they move into the semifinal round against Saraland. And look, you know, Saraland is a program that has set the bar in 6A with I know they've had great players come through, but Coach Kelly down there and everything that's been going on. And of course, in the North, Clay Chaltville has done the same. Benjamin Russell's been close, but now they have moved into that with this team, and you knew going into the season they were going to have an opportunity to have this chance at the end of the season, and they're here. So you're in the Final Four of high school football, and you can't ask for anything more. Yeah, you can. You have to go to the state championship game, and you have to win it. So, but the point is you've got an opportunity, and this team. And I'll say it this way, and the season's not over, obviously, but their teams on multiple levels, college, high school, whatever, that have a great pieces, and you're like, man, they didn't achieve to their full potential. Well, this team has definitely achieved to its full potential, and it's got more in the tank, and it's got a couple more opportunities ahead of it, which makes it, regardless of what this thing ends, whether it's holding a blue map or red map or not getting to the game in 2 weeks, this has been a phenomenal season and a successful season, and one that will always be remembered. And these kids have done this, and this coaching staff has put this together. So I wanted to say that everything from this point on, you're just – everybody's great. Saraland's great. Clay Chaltville's great. Muscle Shoals great. But so is Benjamin Russell. You got 4 really great football teams, but only one's going to be able to hold a blue map. And all 4 of them are saying the same thing. We got to continue to get better. And there's only 4 of us playing football the week of Thanksgiving, and that's a blessing.
Yeah, you always have said that if you can go to a practice on Thanksgiving morning, that's a way to determine whether you've had a good year or a great year. And being able to go to that Thanksgiving practice makes it a great year. And so we were kind of reminiscing a little bit over some games that you and I have called in the past, and there have been some great performances, but last night's was one of the best that I've seen from Sedarian. And our players of the game, we'll kind of get into the ball game first, Brett. I'll start on the defensive side of the ball. Our defensive player of the game was Poochie Bird last night. And Brett, he came into the ball game with 82 tackles, 28 tackles for loss, and 9 sacks on the season. Now, a lot of our other kids get a lot more acclaim than Poochie does, but nobody's played any better than him with stats like that, Brett. I mean, those are stats that
he's unbelievable.
You know, I saw someone make a post, and it may have been the Lyles kid at Phoenix City, but that he needed to be up for Mr. Football last night, and he is a wonderful player, but he had like 72 tackles and 26 tackles for loss and 12 or 14 sacks, and I'm thinking, man, we need to think about what we've got with Bird putting up stats like this. Yeah. And so after last night, well into the 90s, well into the 30s on tackles for loss, and had another great game last night. A couple of other players worth mentioning. Of course, Charles played great, but Christian Smith was all over the field, even on special teams. And I don't know what's going on with Caleb Kendrick. He had as good a defensive performance last week as we've seen. You know, we don't keep up with defensive stats. I knew it was a crazy good game, but until I saw the stats, Brett, I didn't know it was this good. Last week he had 20 tackles, 14 solo tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Now, I'm more than welcome for you to send me over your stats if you ever had one that good for anybody tuning in, but I don't remember one being any better than that on that field, Brett. And he had another great one last night. But moving over to our super sophomore, Kingston Preyer, He was 16 of 22 for 375 yards and 2 touchdowns last night. Some of those passes, he didn't have quite as many of those deep ball, jump balls to Sedarian. So they were a little bit more schemed up passes, but he's special. He got a great opportunity to be one of the top recruits in the entire state. Already is, but I think as you lead into this offseason, if there's an offer he doesn't have, he's going to get it. And part of the reason, and one of the first people I look for after the game's his dad. That's right. He's always smiling. Oh, I mean, if you want to know why somebody's got a good emotional state about them, go look what's going on in their home life. There's right. A good way to check that out. And, I don't know his dad as well as, a lot of others do, but gotten to know him. And you can see that that's the reason that he's composed and carries himself so well. So great night last night for him. And then Sedarian, as we mentioned in the opening segment, 9 catches, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had a great night overall.
Right. You said it. You said it great about Kingston and his demeanor. And again, sophomore and doing what he's doing. He's already won a couple state championships, and he's in position to win another one in a higher classification. So let's get to some of the comments. Van Riggs, congratulations to you guys as well. Tremendous season. You guys handed Benjamin Russell their lone loss at the beginning of the season, and I think we would like to have that game back a little bit. We're playing a little bit better, but y'all are too. 25-20 win for y'all in that game to open the season, and you guys have just found a way and continue to get better and fought through adversity and losing key players, but it hasn't slowed Opelika down, and they win that clash between the rivals there with Auburn last night, 31-28. We'll talk more about that, but congrats to Opelika for making it to another state title game, and we'll talk more about that state championship game coming up and the other game that was the semifinal. Billy, you guys do a great job on the coaching staff. Billy Lockhart there, one of the assistant coaches at Benjamin Russell, and every one of those guys are just top notch and high quality. And when you got a complete staff like that, it just, man, there's no words that you see why teams are so good. It's not, and Kurt Johnson, if he were on here, would say that it's not just me, man. And when he stood up there with that staff that he assembled at the 12th man before the season started, and you start hearing the accolades and you start seeing where all these guys came from and all these different schools. They all didn't come from Catholic. I know Billy did, but every one of these coaches didn't come from Catholic. They came from all over to coach with Kurt Johnson and to compile what they've built here. So it's great. Tubbs said, good to see Josh get going last night, no doubt. His father is a comedian, so watching him try and get Josh's ankles taped up all year has been hilarious. His father and I were same class. So, good to see him going last night. What a tremendous player he is. He said Saraland announcers were saying that last night they needed BR to win. That was because
they want to host.
They wanted to host. If Hueytown had won, they'd had to travel again. So that I definitely can see that. And then Jay said, can't say enough. Can't say in words how proud I am of Kirk, our coaches and players. What a great day to be a Wildcat one. Happy superintendent this morning. You should be, Coach. Just a great performance last night, and work to be done. Still work to be done, and we're going to talk more about that as we move forward. I'm a little bit behind here for our break, so let's go ahead and stop. Take a break for TV. A lot more to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Lake Martin now has a global connection for the best in pre-owned vehicles. The all-new Global Auto Exchange is now open on Cherokee Road in Alex City next to Cazador's Restaurant and is excited to serve Lake Martin with the finest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV selection at the market's most competitive prices and most versatile finance options. Global Auto handpicks all their inventory, and with 4 lots in the region, they have a selection that won't be beat. Whether pre-owned luxury to affordable work truck, Global Auto has the vehicle for you. We reward good credit and can work with challenge credit to get you the ride you want. Visit the all-new Global Auto on Cherokee Road, Alex City for the best selection, pricing, and inventory.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, TAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
In there, and look, we don't say enough about those two. I know we talk about them every day, but those two businesses have been staples of our program, and they're great businesses. JR's is the place where everybody wants to go. It's the namesake in Alex City when it comes to restaurants, and there's some really good restaurants in Alex City, but it's like JR's just automatically comes out of your mouth if you got a visitor in town. It's like, where do we need to go? Well, you got to go to JR's first before you go anywhere else. So we appreciate them 27 years in Alex City, and a lot of it has been with us. So we appreciate them so much, and we appreciate Kevin Keel and his group at Sunshine Heating and Air. I don't know that there's a better run business than his, and how busy they stay speaks for that. And, you know, you don't have to tell everybody. Everybody knows what quality work he does and his staff. That's why Bruce Pearl and everybody else down on the lake hired them to come do their heating and air work. And so they do a great job. So we appreciate both of them very much.
We definitely do. And a couple of other comments coming across. And I see Van's name there again, Brett. So I just wanted to piggyback off of you.
Another
Van,
class
Coach,
of Montgomery living legends.
Yeah. Van, I tell you, I get to listen to Brett every Friday night, and he does an amazing job. He's one of the best I've ever been around, and I think Van is too. Van's passionate about Opelika. Opelika people can feel it in his voice when he's calling their games.
Right.
And when you're calling a hometown game, I mean, Brett and I have almost 20 years of calling state games too, and it's just a different way that you've got to carry yourself. But if you tune in to Brett last night in Alex City, this is going to be the most homer call you could ever possibly find. And when we started doing it together, you know, we made a concerted effort to go, look, if you tune into us and you're the opposing team, you're going to hate our guts here in a couple of hours. And Coach McCracken does a super job with that too, Brett.
Yeah.
I'm all about personalities in the color roll. Yes, if you can break down games, and if you're a coach, and I love Rick Cleveland, and Rick Cleveland can break down what he's seeing out there as well as anybody, but Coach McCracken's a personality. I know he's a coach, but he's also one that just put a mic in front of him. You're going to laugh. You're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun to watch him kind of cheer the team on while he's got a mic in his hand. And, of course, I didn't tune in last night, but I can imagine they had a crazy good with Mac down there on the sideline and what he adds to the broadcast. They're one of the best in the state. And so look forward to being around them. I hope you're going to make a deal happen and we can start getting Van on some of our AHSA calls, because I think he's so talented to do that too.
Yeah, I can only imagine that booth last night with that group down there. Had the excitement and almost probably some tears shed, to be honest, if you want to think about how passionate Coach McCracken is, and what professionalism Van brings to the table and all that. But yeah, we appreciate those guys, and we have a good relationship with them, and it's a fun game. Although Opelika's gotten the better of us the last few years, we try to meet up before the game and share some time together. And I think they appreciate us like we appreciate them. And again, we're just fans of our team and our program, and it comes through on Friday nights. And we're appreciative of the opportunity. I know you are, Randy. We get a chance to do something that we love. In this world where it's a rat race and there's all kind of things going on. You and I, the one thing that we get to do is we kind of get to forget all that for a few hours on Friday and concentrate on the game on Friday nights. And it gives us kind of an escape a little bit. So, and it's so much fun. And of course it's so much better when your team's good. Now, if your team's not good, you're like, all right, I love being here. But I'm going to go ahead and get through this. We'll find, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of winning and a lot of success for both of these programs for a long time with the guys that they've got leading them, because Brian Moore's a great coach that came back home too. You got to think about this. You got all these guys, and when home get calls, and it's hard to not go back. And so Brian Moore came back, had an opportunity to coach in Opelika, and I don't know that they could have picked a better coach for them either. I mean, to be in that region and to do what he's done with those powerhouses, and Opelika is obviously one of those powerhouses, but to do what he's done in the midst of Central Phoenix City's run and what Auburn has built and the enterprises and even the Dothans, how good a program they've got, and you just keep adding them in. Crap, dude.
It's a great region. It's the reason that region's had so much success here in the playoffs. And, it's a good segue to go over and talk about the other 7A game last night. We get the 31-28 win from Opelika. And if you were there, love to hear from you. Talk about exactly what went down in that game. I think there was a pick six early. I know there was a kickoff return early for Opelika. There were some big plays, but man, you want to talk about big plays, Brett. Look at the Phoenix City game. You looked over at me during the broadcast and you said, Thompson's running away with this thing. And I said, well, that's probably over, because heck, think about it. I mean, with Trent Seaborn back there at quarterback, and you've already put 35 points on the board, you don't think that's going to stop. You think if you want to keep going with Coach Freeman calling the plays, you're going to keep putting up big points. But Phoenix City got settled, got back into the ball game.
Crazy.
Scored late to make it 35-34, rolled the dice, go for the 2-point conversion, pass it down to the 1-yard line, and a safety reads the play, Brett, comes up, makes a good hit at about the 2 or the 3, and gets him down to the ground. And you met with Coach Nix earlier in the week, and he's one that every time I take your opinion on coaches, and I say that a lot, but you think the world of Patrick Nix.
Classy guy, man.
For him to roll the dice there, he felt like he had momentum in his favor and wanted to take advantage of it, Brett.
Yeah, I think so. And, I'll say this for fans and for all of us out there that analyze things after the fact or when it just happened. You go, why would you do that? What is he thinking? Well, he's thinking a lot. He's thinking about what you just said. He's thinking about, I'm down, 35-14 with 9 minutes, and we've come back, and our crowd's electric, and you scheme and you plan, and he had all these teams have a play that they're going to go to in that moment. Right. And they obviously had Thompson on skates, and they thought, well, I don't want to roll the dice of having to go and snap the ball 3 or 4 times in overtime and hope something happens. I'm going to take advantage of the momentum right here, and I'm not going to prolong this thing. I'm going to go try to win it on my home field. And look, I know there's still going to be people out there that disagree with that, and you can. But he's the head football coach, and he did what he thought was best for his team. And nobody wanted to win more than he did, I promise you, and his players. So they probably talked about it. It probably just wasn't, hey, let's run out here. He probably goes, all right, guys, reading the moment, what do you want to do here? And they probably like, let's go win it, coach. And it was a concerted effort. And tip your hat to Thompson for making a play. I mean, this was a great football game that came down to the last play of the game, and Thompson had to make the play to win. We had to make the play to win last week.
That's right.
Because guess what was about to happen? If Theodore scores a touchdown, they were about to roll out there with a big 240-pound running back at the 3-yard line, and they were just going to try to ram it down our throat and score and win the game and end our season. So we make a play at the goal line. Bryce Carter comes up and separates the football from their tight end over the middle, and that's how Benjamin Russell won. So it comes down to that. You're going to have to make plays to win games. And so Thompson, after giving up that many points in 9 minutes, had to make a play to win, and they did it. So kudos. That's a crazy guy. That's exactly what you would have expected out of that game between two perennial powerhouse programs that have met almost every year for the last 4 or 5 years, most of those in a state championship game. So,
well, now you can expect a massive crowd over in Birmingham because you got Thompson on pretty much their home turf right there, very close to them. And Opelika, nobody travels better than Opelika.
Right.
We've always said that we can compare to them. And when we go on the road to Saraland next week, if you haven't, and I don't think we've been to Saraland on the road to play in the playoffs. So, but I do remember calling a Spanish Fort game with us a few years ago. We had twice as many fans as they did 4 hours away from home. It was wild to see how many people we took in that night to that game. But you'll see that with Opelika. That sucker will be red and black packed at Protective Stadium in a few weeks. And going to be a great matchup, Brett, when you kind of pit two of the best coaches in the state together, and the two programs haven't met for a state championship that I know of. It's going to make for a special night there on Wednesday night in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some more comments. Jerome said, good morning. Going to the first Auburn game. He's a Bammer. Going to his first Auburn game because his daughter's an Auburn fan. We know that. And she won some tickets. So he's gonna suck it up and go to the Auburn game. So congratulations there, Jerome. Kyle said, Faith's the real MVP because she made it through a full season with me. There's no question. And she has to deal with me on a daily basis. So that tells you that she's a keeper because, Lord help, if you have to deal with me more than ever, it's tough. Tubb said our audio was off a little bit beginning. Not worth watching without y'all. McCracken is hilarious. He has Van doing simple math all night long. It's a fun broadcast for sure. And I'm not sure what was going on with our NFHS feed at the beginning. It wasn't on our end. I mean, we checked it. We had some people texting us. I don't know. I mean, technical man, I swear. I don't know what else to say. There's just demons in the world, right, that like to play with you and go, hey, watch this. I don't know why it's not going to work, but it's not. And it's everything set up perfectly. And then we pulled the feed up, and there we were. And it's like, well, what's everybody talking about? So I don't know. Somebody out there in technology world was screwing with us last night, and we came back. Seaborn was on fire last night. Bobby, not so much. Yeah, that was the game. And he threw a couple interceptions early in that game, Bobby Coleman. And so I don't know. It's just look, you make mistakes in games like this, it's hard to overcome them. And Phoenix City almost came back and overcame it, but tough season. They had a great season. They were number 1 in 7A most of the year, and had lost that one game to IMG. But when Thompson's not afraid to go play anybody anywhere ever.
No, they're not. And they're coached as well as anybody. And they've got a quarterback that once it gets to the playoff run, you just give me him. Just give me Trent Seaborn. And you and I saw that the first really time that I could put my eyes on him was as an eighth grader. Winning the MVP award of a state championship game. And he had a majority of that night. He didn't have an incompletion, if you remember, Brett. He was amazing. So the rest of 6A we can run down real quick and get your step pipe. You need to go ahead and go to break.
Let's go ahead and we'll keep it here for 3 more minutes. We've missed a break. It's our apology. So we'll keep it here for 3 more minutes, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll come back. But we'll start running that down. A couple more comments here. Greg Calhoun said, tough call going for 2 there at the end. It is a tough call to make, to not kick it and tie it, or, to just go ahead and try to win it there. But that's what coaches do. They have to make those decisions. Jerome said, has Ben Russell ever beat Saraland? And yes, they had Jack West and Velas Jones and a really good football team that came up here. And Ben Russell really took it to them that night. It was a big win for the Wildcats. So yeah, have played Saraland before. So yeah, it's one of those things where you haven't had a lot of history with them, but you have. Ed said Saraland versus BR will be a matchup of 2 of the top underclass quarterbacks in the Southeast. I hope it's the game of the week. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be for the statewide network. I think they're going to go with St. Michael and Jackson, which is a rematch of that region down there. That puts number 1 and basically number 2 together. In that region. Look, I don't know that there'd be a better game than ours. I'm biased, obviously, but I think I'll confirm. But earlier in the week, I was told it would probably be more than likely Jackson and St. Michael in a rematch. So we'll see how that plays out.
Go ahead and go to a break, Brett. When we come back, we'll get set. And there's what we're looking for, Tommy, as we head off. If you were at games last night, Brett and I were calling one, so we haven't had the chance to hear exactly how games ended.
Tell us how it went down, yep.
So send us some messages. Let us know what you saw. If you saw great performances, send us those also.
All right, we'll take a break here on the Saturday Sports Countdown. Coming back a lot more right here.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. For any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
With football here, Martin's at Lake Martin is ready with the lake's best place for sports, fun, and entertainment with your favorite teams on over 20 big screens. And Martin's is now open 7 days a week. Monday, trivia night. Tuesday, open cornhole tournaments. Wednesday, free pool. Thursday, our huge bingo night with food trucks. And every Friday and Saturday, live entertainment with food trucks. Sunday, enjoy NFL ticket with hot dogs and chili. This football season, make the best game plan. Go to Martin's on 34 in Dadeville, where every hour is happy hour.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Atmospheres, really, it's second to none. And I hope we travel well next week.
Let me come back for TV, and then I'm gonna let you go. Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating and Air. Just a few minutes left in this first hour, but I'll let you go back. Randy, what were you just saying?
Well, I was just talking about the atmosphere, and saw pictures of the Auburn-Opelika game last night, and this was pregame, Brett, and I'm like, good God, look at all the humanity. And for a high school football game, and you knew it over there, but still the photos tell a story. And you know, I tell you about ours, though. It's the overall atmosphere, the video board, and how much thought has gone into that. And look, we've got Preston that works with us. It's one of our best, is active in that every Friday night, Brett, and he loves it. And they think about it, and they put things on that board that is well thought through, that is something the kids and the fans will enjoy. But the cowbells and the band and everybody around it, and your daughter out there with the dance team and the cheerleaders, and it's just a great atmosphere. And I hope we travel well next week, because we're going to need to. You know, I'll bring this back up. You know, we've got a lot of alumni that are in South Alabama.
We do.
When we would go to Spanish Fort, the many times that we've been down to that nightmare on the hill.
Hate that place. I hate it. Nothing about it.
Hey, and part of that is they create an atmosphere that's difficult to play in at Spanish.
Yeah, how about this? Don't have a. I'm gonna be a little bit pissy right here. Yeah. How about not provide a locker room for guests? That's crap. So that's another reason I don't like it, because my son and his side of the team had to stand under the bleachers over there in the pouring rain and freeze to death when they walk into this nice, huge, big. You know, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a little bitter. But, I mean, come on, man. Be better than that. And it's not just us saying it. Everybody that goes to that place goes, this is Bush League, dude. Like, and you should have facilities for people. I'm just saying. I didn't mean to get off on that, but.
Well, that was, again, the homer coming out in it, by the way. But going to Saraland next week, we'll have a lot of people down there. And it's not they have to travel for.
Well, let me tell you this, since you said that. LaTanya Bedgood, who's BJ's mom, who is the biggest cheerleader. Like, I know you're talking, like, this woman, first of all, is one of our administrators at the middle school now. And again, another home run hire. Like, she is awesome. Like, she makes going to school fun. She does. She's a hardliner, but she is a great person. And she's done such a good job as one of our assistant principals at the middle school. And she is all about the theme of the week and keeping everybody in line, and she just put out, hey, we're taking everyone. She said, yes, you read that right, everyone to round 4. We're going to roll out as many buses as it takes because we don't play. Fan bus information dropping soon, spread the word. So they're going to have a thing set up to where they're going to have charter buses heading down to South Alabama next Friday. So we'll help share that information for all of you out there that need it, that would love to jump on a bus and go, and what it takes, what it would cost to go. So, hey, there's going to be a massive crowd there.
No, I think so. Brett, get to some of those other scores. Clay Chalkville had a close football game in the first half last night. They get through still undefeated, Brett.
Yep.
Remember, they beat Thompson for the 3rd year in a row earlier this year. They're a really good team. And then Muscle Shoals undefeated. They go over to Mountain Brook. That's never an easy place to play, and they win. So if I had to ask before the season, who do you expect to be in the semifinals for Class 6A, we got them. I'll be honest. These were the 4 that I thought. So you're going to have Clay Chalkville and Muscle Shoals, 2 undefeated teams on the northern side, and then you got Ben Russell and Saraland, with the only loss coming in is Ben Russell on the road at the 7A title contender in Opelika.
That's
so, it's going to be great matchups in Class 6A. Run down 5A real quick before we go to break, Brett.
5A, you got Scottsboro knocking off Fairview. That was a great football game, 16-14 last night. That was a 12-1 Fairview team having a great season, and Scottsboro 9-4 knocked them off to move on. They'll take on Moody, who destroyed Briarwood Christian, 51-27.
That was a close game at half. I think it was a 7-point game at half, and Moody getting it going offensively there in the second half.
Yeah,
Jake Gaines can do a great job, doesn't he?
He does a phenomenal job. Viger over Central Clay, 14-0. Just couldn't get anything going offensively for Central Clay, and their season ends at 12-2. One loss to us, and then that loss to Viger. And Viger has been a great program all year. Tough break for Central Clay. Know that, again, they're disappointed. It's always hard. We're about to have to go make that trip too. It's not easy to travel. I was kidding with Terry Curtis the other day. I said, I don't know what the crap y'all do down here. I said, everybody hates driving down there. I said, but when we finally get some of y'all to drive this way, it don't work out too well for y'all. And he just laughed. And so, it's tough to travel to Mobile, take on any of these teams. They'll take on their rival, Williamson. Williamson 13-0, knocked off Montgomery Catholic 41-13. So their bid to repeat as a state champion is over. And I talked to Corey LeBounty last night. He'll be calling that game between Viger and Williamson. And he's like, hey, man, he was congratulating us and saying, going to be fun to have Ben Russell down there at Saraland. He said, Brett, there'll be 20,000 at that game.
Oh, that's great.
Viger and Williamson. He said, everything will be on the line for a chance to go to Birmingham. So that's fun. That's going to be a fun semifinal matchup between Viger and Williamson. In 4A, Plainview keeps rolling. They won that game on Thursday night. They played that game Thursday. They won 28-7 over Good Hope. They're 13-0. Again, Coach Dale Pruitt, we were up there a couple of weeks ago and talked to him. Faith interviewed him. And, I got to tell a funny story. All right. So in my conversations and my text messaging back and forth with Coach Pruitt, he's Coach Horn, one word. Like, I could type like a paragraph, and he goes, yes. And then I go, well, Coach, what about this, blah, blah, blah. I know. And it's like, well, dang. Like, I told Faith, I said, well, this interview is probably going to last 30 seconds if you don't come up with something to say. Well, then you get in there and interview him, and I start looking at her, and she starts looking at me and making eyes like, how long has this thing been going? And I'm like, you need to cut it. It needs to.
He's that good on camera.
Do not ask another question because we're at 12 minutes, and the interview was supposed to last for 4. So anyway, yeah, he just got to talking. So don't ever use how somebody texts as a way to reference how they're going to talk on camera. So I was blown away. I would have missed that one. I'd have said this will last 30 seconds, but it lasted about 12 minutes. So Plainview's doing really well. They'll be in the semifinals against an unreal Anniston team. 13-0 over 31-7 winners over Dessler. Huge win. Anniston and Plainview. That's going to be a heck of a game there.
Anniston. I grew up having to compete against that program. When things are going in their favor and they've got a really good coach, you don't want to play Anniston. They grow the bows and the joes, and if you think you're going to out-athlete them, you never will. You're not. You're going to have to out-scheme Anniston to win. And, Brett, they're playing as well as anybody in the state up and down classification. If you look at their scores, they don't have close football games. They haven't had one. And I want to quickly go to one of the comments over here because I definitely want to get a good friend of mine, Trey Stovall, said, I remember correctly, Randy probably told me 3 years ago Morgan would be the highest recruit to ever come out of BRHS. Trey, that was when he was in the 7th grade. And I was not a soothsayer. He walked in the gym with me and Trey coaching kids, and he was about 6'3" in the 7th grade, if you remember, Brett.
Right.
And I watched him as a middle schooler just as easy as you want to, just walk on over there and dunk the basketball right in front of us. And I knew how young he was. I'm like, that's not normal. There's no part of that is normal. So, Trey, I'm keeping up with Caleb. Tell him I'm cheering for him. Keep the videos going. And Justin wants you to watch that voice, Brett.
Hey, it's better already, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it gets better as the morning moves on.
Hey, I feel confident, Justin. It was last night was a little bit over the top, but it's been strong all year, and it's because I've been extremely exhausted, and I melted last night, and my mouth probably was wide open, and I was probably a good buddy of ours, I won't mention his name, that I woke up in a hotel room because I'd had enough. Like my mind, I was going insane. I've never heard a human snore as loud as this one particular friend of ours. And I'm like, bro, I just finally said, hey man, you just got to wake up. I said, I can't do this. and he said, what I do? I said, look around. There's no paint on the walls. So got him up, I said, you got to stay up until I go to sleep. And so he got up and read a book. I fell asleep. And it's the only way I could have gotten any sleep. I was going to have to sleep outside in the hallway. But anyway, yeah, I feel good about that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break, top of the hour break here on the Saturday Sports Countdown. When we come back, hour number 2, we'll finish up the scores and dive into some college. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Two Rivers Lumber Company has a proud heritage in the state of Alabama and is excited to announce we are opening a new facility in the Lake Martin area late 2025. Our company specializes in southern yellow pine dimension lumber, and we plan to employ over 150 in our new community of Lake Martin. Two Rivers Lumber Company is a family-run business with over 45 years of service to the state. And we are happy to become a part of the Lake Martin community and want to wish the best of luck to all area athletic teams in all competitions. Two Rivers Lumber, Lake Martin's newest community partner, coming soon.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
What makes Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadilla so giant? Crispy fingers, sauce, and melty cheese. Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability, and eligibility may vary.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Brett, and I look forward to seeing it. But, you know, we shared one from 10 years ago yesterday. And by the way, I'd looked at that video.
We're back, by the way, for TV. Just roll it, Reed. No,
right, well, I'll just keep going down this. I asked during the break if Brett has had a chance to see a few of his calls with some of the plays last night, because I really don't remember how we reacted to a few of them, because first off, I was mesmerized. I mean, I've seen some great plays, but a couple of them that Sedarian had last night were some of the best I've ever seen. And you've got to have a talent like that to make a play like that, Brett. And yes, we've had great talent, but I don't know that we've had one any better than Sedarian Morgan. I think he's the top talent we've had coming out of the school. But let me finish real quick, and then I'll kick it to you. But, you know, I remember easily that call that we had against Tyree, for Tyree 10 years ago. We had made a lot of calls like that throughout the year. You know, it was one that was in a big moment.
It was.
But, you know, people kind of get the humor out of me saying bye, but every time that entire year that he got in the secondary, I just say bye, because like I've just watched him after a while, nobody's catching him.
No.
And if he's got one man to beat back there at safety, there's less than a zero chance that he's going to tackle him in the open field. So we had made that call a lot before. It just kind of came off really good in that one. But last night, that wasn't one that you can prepare for. And it's the reason that I said in the first hour how impressed I was with Sedarian's play last night. You know, when you snap it back to a quarterback every play, there's going to be a moment where if he's dynamic enough, he's going to make a play like that.
Right.
But if you're a receiver and they're blanket covering you, and they got somebody picking you on the line, and then they've got somebody 8 yards off, and then they got a deep safety back there sitting in the middle of the field. I mean, it takes a lot of good scheming to just get you the football. And so that's neither here nor there. I thought it was as good, if not the best, overall performance I've ever had the good fortune of calling last night.
I agree 100%. I think that one will go down as one that we'll look back on like we look back on that 2015 season and all the different plays, and especially that one in that Bessemer City game. Just, you know, these will be ones you talk about. And, you know, that team in 15 was special, and this team here is special. And that's what I said to start the show. You take all this in and you appreciate the moment that you're in, and we have for sure. All right, let's go back to 3A, continue to run these scores down. Mars Hill Bible is having an unreal season.
They are
13-0. They destroy Geraldine, 42-0. Geraldine was 11-1 coming into that game, and so they dropped their second game of the season. But to shut a team out like Geraldine, that's been as good as they've been, tells you a little bit about what Mars Hill is. Piedmont will be their opponent in the semifinal. Piedmont's 13-0. They knocked off a very good Gordo team, 28-20. So Gordo season ends at 10-2 as well. So a very, very good football team there and a very good game there. Southside Selma's been number one at 3A. They win over Glenwood 34-21. That's a 13-0 Southside Selma team. I know you're very familiar with their playmakers and their 8th grade quarterback and all of the things because of the post that you make on a weekly basis. But Southside Selma, man, they're having a season like we've never seen before since we've been doing this. And they're in position to win it all. They'll take on Bayside Academy, who knocked off Montgomery Academy 30-13 last night. That's another program that has been a consistent winner, Bayside Academy. And so Southside Selma, though, right now, and Mars Hill seem to be the class of those of 3A.
Well, you know, I had a comment a little earlier, and I'll kind of piggyback off of that before you head to 2A. I mean, there's certain programs in certain areas where kids find their way to you. And it's for really good reason. You know, if you were at Bayside when Phil Lazenby was the coach, Brett, and you wanted to play physical football, you found your way over there. And you knew that you were always going to – you may not knock the entire door down and win a championship, but you were going to be a consistent winner.
Right.
And Barrett Trotter's got that. And when you're at Bayside and you've got the talent pool to choose from that Mobile region, kids are going to gravitate to your school. So, you know, it's kind of like St. Michael, Brett. Now Bayside with Barrett. You've got two great high school quarterbacks here in the state of Alabama that moved on. Barrett playing in college at Auburn, and Phillip Rivers being one of the top college players at NC State, and then one of the best pro quarterbacks. And they'll have to go against each other a lot in the years to come. But there's no surprise to see him doing as well as he is at Bayside.
Yeah, no shot at all. All right, 2A interesting. Pisgah knocks off Southeastern 26-15. Pisgah, a very good program.
And everything.
Yeah, they're just a well-rounded school athletically. Coosa Christian knocks off the runner-up from last year, Tuscaloosa Academy, 17-0. This is a Coosa Christian team that's been knocking on the door. They've had some problems, some controversy over the last couple of years, and some forfeits and some things. Looks like they're one game away from navigating to the state championship game. They'll have a tough opponent in Pisgah, so that'll be a fun one to watch there. Down here in the South, it's going to be fun. It's a rematch of the region for the region championship, and Lynette knocks off Laverne, who was number one in 2A. That was a huge – to go and knock them off 35-16 tells you about what Lynette is. If anybody was doubting Lynette, you better not doubt them anymore. They went to the number one team. I think they traveled to Laverne, if I'm correct, and beat them 35-16, giving Laverne their first loss of the season. Massive win there. And they'll take on their region foe, Reeltown. Reeltown, the defending 2A champs, knocked off Providence Christian 28-7, and Lynette beat Reeltown 20-19 to win that region. So you talking about a rematch of epic proportions, and I think that game will be at Lynette because they won the region. So, man, how big a game is that?
Well, it's huge, and if you grow up in the area that you and I have, there is a really good reason that Reeltown and Lynette are this good consistently, and that is those two communities embrace youth athletics, Brett. If you ever play them in anything, it's going to be a tough day for you. And it just parlays into great high school football. And you had the good fortune of getting to know Coach Story and what a great product he put together. And, you know, when a great coach like that leaves, though, and then a couple of years later you put it all back together again, Brett, and you start winning. And it's the same with Reeltown with Coach Johnson. When Jackie O'Neill retires and you go and you hire one of your own, and a couple of years later he's beating down the door consistently, that's not just that individual coach. You know that then.
Right.
It's a program. It's a community that embraces high school football, and, man, that'd be great. Be great football. If you wanted to pick a lower classification game to go and make the game of the week, that would be a good one to do next week.
That would be a fun one for sure. In 1A, Addison knocked off Marion County in a good football game, 28-22. Addison's 12-1. They'll take on Wadley. Wadley early down in that game, but guess what they said? Oh, we got Jaquez Wilkes. It's okay. They win 62-38 over Hubertville, give Hubertville their first loss of the season. And again, Wadley, just the defending champs, continue to roll on, and they are one step closer to making it back to Birmingham for a defense of their title. They're more than likely going to have to take on this Maplesville team who shut out Southern Choctaw last night 42-0. This is a 13-0 Maplesville team that is rolling right now, and they were the runner-up last year against that Wadley team. They want another shot at them, and then they'll have to go through Leroy, though. Leroy 13-0. 60-28 over McKenzie ain't going to be easy for Maplesville there. So Maplesville and Leroy in a clash there in the South, and then Addison and Wadley in the North. And, hey, look, it's going to be – there's some really good football teams left, obviously, in all these classifications. But 1A, I mean, Leroy, when you start uttering Leroy and Maplesville and Wadley, shoot. And I don't know as much about Addison, but obviously they're pretty dang good too. But, man, that some really, really strong programs there.
Well, great week. Going to be a Thanksgiving week to remember for a lot of these communities, Brett, and just proud that maroon that you wear there will be on the road at Saraland next week. And Brett made mention, and I know we'll head into the college portion of the program coming up, but there will be buses loading. Get on one. You don't have, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on at work anyway. Look, nobody complains more than I do. Like people, once it gets to Thanksgiving week,
just shut it down.
People stop working. They don't go to work. Nobody orders anything. Us business owners, we get depressed for a few weeks. Those of you that don't have to worry about those kind of things, you enjoy those kind of weeks. But just get on a bus. Come down. I hope that none of you are tuning into me or Brett next week, that you're all in the stands. And then if you want to go back and watch the replay, you're more than welcome to do that. We know that won't be the case. We will be on air. Hopefully we'll have a little better signal than we normally do at Spanish Fort when we're over there.
Yeah, God, and that's another thing. There's no information can get out of that place. Like with all the technology and all the different things, you might as well have two cans and a string there, and you take your chances with it. Brian, that is amazing. I heard that. I meant to say something about that Jacquez Wilkes had almost 400 yards rushing on 14 carries and 6 touchdowns last night. Like you talk about, like, let me paint this picture real quick, and then we'll go to break. It's literally like taking a kid that's a 9th grader and going down to the elementary playground with like 2nd and 3rd graders and go, hey, I want that kid on my team. And like whoever drafts him, like you hand him the ball and you got like 5 guys like just on his ankles and he's just dragging them down the field. That's Jacquez Wilkes, man. And like I love Jacquez. I see him every Saturday at Auburn on the sideline. I'll see him today. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to say, how many did you drag down the field? Like, and he doesn't say a lot. A lot of these guys don't talk a lot. It's crazy. And they just smile. And Jacquez has got a great – he's just a great kid and very humble. But, man, that's what it's like. It's like watching somebody just drag like minions down the field. Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine trying to tackle this guy.
Well, they don't. You and I were standing together on during the championship game, and you could watch the opposition across the way, and it was a great Maplesville team, and it was like, I just don't know if I'm going to put my body in harm's way anymore. And he put on a show that day, and he'll have a chance to do it again.
I haven't been fishing with him yet because I can't get him corralled enough. Like he was all on fire about fishing. Every time I see him, he's like, "We're still going fishing." I said, "If you'll answer the phone, like if you'll answer the phone, you'll force me to actually go fishing." And so yeah, he's a great kid. So love Jacquez, and we'll see how his season ends up. He's got a couple more games, I think, ahead of him too. So, all right, we're going to take a break here. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At Central Alabama Community College, We provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, TAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open. Located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all. Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Night and Saraland's on sale now, so thanks for sending that over.
Yep, no doubt. Dr. Reyes sent it, and then David just sent it too. So yeah, make sure you get your tickets. You don't want to get left out, like he said. All right, welcome back everyone to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. College, look. Lane Kiffin is controlling the college football world right now. So is it going to be LSU? The thing that we saw last night, a $90 million plus deal on the table, possibly, and Ole Miss maybe trying to match. This is crazy.
Well, I mean, if you're asking me, all right, so let's see if I can go down the list of thoughts that I've had this week. One, I watched his McAfee interview. And I think there is some things to take away from watching a guy on camera and the way that he interacts with the questions that are coming from all over, Brett. And I know Lane Kiffin's not trustworthy, and I've said that in the past. When Auburn was close to getting him, you were a little bit upset with me for being so negative on that. And the further I get removed from that, the more that I think you're right. You were definitely right, and I was wrong in that if we could have gotten him and had a chance with him for a few years other than Hugh Freeze, I think it would have been a positive for Auburn. But he's got a championship contending team. When they lose, you're surprised. And they should have, by all regards, been in that playoff last year too. So the only thing I question is, like, if you're spinning it that he can't get over the hump at Ole Miss, really? Can't get over the hump at Ole Miss. He's about to be 11-1 if he wins the Egg Bowl against not a very good Mississippi State team, with a chance to play SEC for an SEC championship, no doubt in the playoff run. And this is a year after Jackson Dart goes on. Like, he's doing this the following year with a quarterback.
But then he found a guy off the internet. I mean,
so my biggest point here is, like, if you want to spin it that he needs to go to LSU or Florida to have a chance and win a championship, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you want to spin it that he's got more money and he's got a chance to spend more money in NIL and he'll win more at LSU, okay, maybe I can buy into that. But where I'm sitting right now is he is in a really good position. I hope, just for the sport of football and the college game, that nothing happens to take anything away from Ole Miss's chance to play for a championship this year. I'll start with that, Brett. I don't like Ole Miss any more than you do. But if I was an Ole Miss fan, I just want people.
Well, that's kind of what Justin's saying.
I want people to be professional enough to do what I see Lane doing right now. the talking heads let everybody talk, but right now I'm going to go out there and see if I can get Ole Miss to a national championship. And I'll respect him a lot more if he pulls that off in the next month. But I'm with you. I've got my doubts on that's the way this thing's going to play out.
You know what? Yeah. And, you know, I never thought I'd say this. I'd defend Lane for just a second. If the money is the money that we're seeing being thrown out there, and this is his one chance, you know, because he's the only guy, he's the hottest commodity guy. Normally there's 2 or 3 guys in the mix, but he holds all the cards this year. Like he is, if he wanted to call anybody and say, I want to come to your place, then they would go, okay, what is it going to take? Even teams that aren't in the mix. If he just picked the phone up and said, let's just go test the waters. If he doesn't do that this year, he's not guaranteed next year that he's going to be the lone guy that everybody wants. There may be, hey, Ron Day might be in the mix, right? Or, you know, Dan Lanning might be in the mix next year. So what if it's Dan Lanning, Ron Day, and Lane Kiffin? Now all of a sudden you're not as lucrative as – so, hey – so in defense of him, if you got to make a decision, unfortunately, yes, you've built a program at Ole Miss that's right on the cusp of going to the playoffs, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. But you're looking at the future and you're going, yeah, I've worked to build to this point, but now this opportunity's come up and I can't turn it down. I got to leave. And so, and I hate it because I'm with you. I'm just playing hypothetical. I think there's got to be some honor and integrity got to go back to this, but it comes back to these dates. It's the calendar that's forcing these coaches to do the things that they're doing that seem unethical and immoral and all that, because you got early signing period on December 3rd. You got the playoffs that are going to be going on. You got the portal window opening January 2nd. And then you got the second signing period on in February, like always. But all of this stuff's going on while you're playing playoff games. And so all these moving parts have to be moving because other teams have to be prepping for the next year and the future. And I don't know. Yes, Justin said, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I'm so pissed off right now because I finally got a guy that's brought our program to prominence, and he's being pulled in so many directions and being courted. And all everybody's talking about is Lane Kiffin and what's he going to do. They're not talking about Ole Miss, the team. They're just talking about him. And I think they all feel that he's going to pull the trigger and leave on them. And now who are they going to go get? Who are they going to go get to replace him? I mean, me and you know that the Auburn deal is pretty much done. I mean, we threw sources last night that unless some kind of meteor comes out of space and hits and destroys everything, that John Summerall is going to be the next head coach at Auburn. And it's already kind of in the works, already planning the announcement next week after the Iron Bowl, all that good stuff. But literally, who is Ole Miss going to get if Lane Kiffin exits stage left and goes to LSU? I don't know. Who are they going to get?
Well, I think that if you're in the midst of a great season, though, that's the reason I hope that I have some respect for Lane Kiffin the way that this plays out the next month, because he's got a championship contending team. So,
right.
No, I don't think anybody's going to hire Hugh Freeze. Not in this conference.
If they want to go kick a field goal in the playoffs, they'll go get him. So
no, I don't see that. But Justin's point a little bit earlier is the one that I've made. Yep. Is can Ole Miss match dollar for dollar these? I don't know that that's the case, but can they get to the $13 to $15 million mark with maybe a little some fewer years mixed in there? I think they're going to have to, Brett. When Kurt Cignetti gets paid what he got paid at Indiana with that new contract, that's the market. And that market's what, $13 million? Is that where his number is?
Yeah, it's up $13 million.
I mean, Lane Kiffin's worth more than that.
Well, and here's the thing. It really boils down to what Lane sees for the future.
Yeah.
And yes, he's done it at Ole Miss, but has he had to do it in an unorthodox way and work a little bit harder to do it? And he's brought the success. Yes, I think he's thinking bigger facilities, better facilities, more money. Like what I'm seeing LSU saying they're going to give him for a roster. They're going to give him $25 million just for the roster every year. I'm like, good God, we're going to give you $25 million plus we're going to pay you all this money on top of it. They're like, we're not playing, man. Nobody's going to top our deal. And we don't know the full details of Florida. And can Ole Miss just simply even compete with that? And does Lane Kiffin in his mind truly believe that, hey, if I go to one of these places, it'll be easier for me every year? It doesn't mean that I can't do it here because I'm doing it here, but it could be easier for me to do it there on a regular basis. So I don't know.
Well, here's another dynamic I think that you've got to take into consideration here as you're watching this play out. One, if you believe what he said with the Auburn and Ole Miss job, and I do believe it, his daughter was one of the key pieces keeping him there and keeping him, retaining him there at Ole Miss. Now, when I watch, his son's a great high school quarterback, a very good one. And he's at that age now, Brett, where you've got 2 or 3 more years to play because he's a young high school quarterback, but he's already putting up big numbers. He's there in Oxford, Mississippi. So, do you pick him up? You've really got to take into consideration the comfort level of taking that young man out of a situation that seems to be going well. Does it mean that it can't go well for him, say, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or in Gainesville, Florida? No, I'm not saying that it can. I'm just saying that if I'm him and I'm 15 and I'm playing as well as I am, I'm letting Dad know I'm pretty happy. And if the money is anywhere near equal, then, I think that may be the one thing that sways him to stay there at Ole Miss. And back to my first point, and then we'll move on to the next topic, but you can't spin this that he can't get it done at Ole Miss. You can't do it. I mean, he's in the mix every year. Has he won a championship? No, but a lot of teams haven't won a championship. It's very difficult to get over the hump and win one. But you can't make the complaint that it's going to be a lot easier to win at LSU in Florida. I mean, maybe, but Lane's got a brand new quarterback, and his quarterback from last year's showing off in the NFL right now. So that's how talented he was. Right. And he's still 10-1 with a chance to be 11-1 and going to be in the playoffs this year. I mean, he can get it done wherever.
It's all valid. I mean, every bit of what you said is valid. So, it'll be his determination. It's all going to come down to him making the decision. So we'll see if the magnetic pull from Florida or LSU is too great for him to resist. And if it is, then Ole Miss will be locked in for a long time because this is his chance. This is his chance right here. Not to say he won't have a chance again, but I'm just saying this is his chance as the Lone Ranger out there, as the exclusive candidate to name his price and to get what he wants. And if he stays at Ole Miss, it says a lot about his situation and what they're doing over there, that he's probably that he may stay there till he finishes. I mean, if he likes it that much and decides to ward off some of these offers coming from some of these other schools. So, all right, we're a little behind on TV. Reed, let's catch up on our breaks right here. We get a double in right here because we don't want to save it to the end. So let's catch up right here, Lane. Let's catch up, Reed, and we'll be back for more of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City. Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride.
Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard, Montgomery, or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have zero risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer. L&M Pawn and Gun, located in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, is East Alabama and West Georgia's complete gun, tactical, and pawn shop. It invites the region to shop over 500 firearms in stock, on the floor, and ready for sale at the market's best values. At L&M Pawn and Gun, we specialize in all tactical guns, equipment, and parts, including AK-47 and AR-15s. Specialized parts for tactical guns as well as suppressors and other parts you can't find anywhere. L&M Pawn and Gun has it all in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, or shop online, lmpawnandgun.com.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
by JR Sports Bar and Grill. A couple segments left here in the show today. Just kind of going back and talking about these coaching searches and everything going on in the world of college football. You've got, I think, and I said it, the title of the podcast was Best Case Scenario for Auburn would be Summerall Durkin combination, because you get the guy you've obviously been wanting from the start if you're John Cohen, and you keep DJ Durkin, who has obviously put a phenomenal defense on the field in the midst of this horrible run under Hugh Freeze. He's had the one constant, and all the players love him, both on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. So if he stays, he's able to recruit this roster and keep as much continuity and consistency as possible in this day and age where it's so easy to just get in the portal and leave. And he said that after the Vanderbilt game. He said this group is stuck together, and they're sticking together after everybody in the country's tried to poach them. And he just came out and said that openly right there to us in the press conference. Look, if you put those two together and you go out and hire a dynamic offensive coordinator, I mean, it's like I was talking with somebody last night, man, you really have the makings of doing something special if you can get it all to work. And, the main thing of all this is players. And Auburn does have a good roster. You want to keep Xavier Atkins. You want to keep Cam Coleman. You want to keep Malcolm Simmons. You want to keep all of these guys. And so the continuity thing is a big key.
Well, I'm hopeful and really happy today that we get to see maybe the most important piece to that puzzle, if it all plays out well, is Deuce Knight. And, but before Ashton's redshirt situation presented itself, we were probably going to get through this entire season without seeing much of Deuce and know if the ceiling's as high as I think it is. But we're going to get that chance today. And I hope he performs well, Brett. I really do. And I hope
I do too, man. Everybody's pulling for him.
And I hope we have, a conversation going into next week going, look, are you telling me you're going to take Deuce Knight out of the football game after what we saw this past week? That's the goal. The goal is to have Ashton play as well as he did against Vandy. And then Deuce come in against a very good Mercer team.
Yes.
Now, should Mercer be on the field with Auburn consistently? Absolutely not. But this is a well above average Mercer team that we're playing here. And when we've been bad, we've lost the worst teams in this.
Well, they almost beat us when we had Cam Petway. We fumbled like 4 or 5 times, and they literally almost won that night. Or that afternoon. So yeah, nothing. I don't put anything.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to watching. I'm sure I'm speaking to the crowd here that Deuce Knight's chance to finally get an opportunity to show us all what he's got is going to be the talk there at 1:00 today. And Brett, from what you've seen at practice this week, you think that he'll have a chance to go from start to finish if that's what Auburn needs tonight?
I definitely do. I don't know that there's a plan. Like you heard Coach Durkin say both were going to play at the beginning of the week, and then he names Deuce as the starter. They may, I don't know. I mean, they don't tell us that. They may have a plan to say, okay, Deuce, you're going to get, the first couple of series, and then we're going to put Jackson in for a couple of series. I would not like that. I don't want to see that personally, from my opinion. I think you need to let Deuce be the quarterback. You name him as the starter, let him go, see what he can do, and not look over his shoulder, not going, okay, I got to do this in these first 2 possessions, and then I got to go wait 2 possessions before I get another shot. I mean, go let him be a quarterback and go let him show everybody what he can do. It's his opportunity. And so I'm hoping it's going to be that way, and it lends me to believe that it will, that he would be the guy, unless it just fell off the train fell off the tracks. I think he's going to be the guy, and then you can see Jackson later in the second half.
Brett, spinning over to Alabama real quick. I mean, your thoughts of their game this past weekend, and just your feeling about DeBoer and the culture around Alabama football right now.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I know Luke has his insiders, and he covers Alabama every day, so I'm sure he's got better information. But for a pretty prominent guy that I talked to yesterday, said that, it just seems like maybe DeBoer's wife hasn't been happy since she's been there. And look, we've heard that story a lot. And just frankly, you know, I think DeBoer's done a great job at Alabama. He's 9-3 last year. It's the most wins by a first-year head coach in Alabama history. They didn't make the playoffs, though, and he's following Nick Saban. I want everybody to remember this. And we said this, no matter who Alabama got, they were going to have to follow Nick Saban. And I don't care how many games you win. It's almost impossible to live up to that. And, you know, Kalen DeBoer comes across the country to take this job. Who wouldn't? I mean, when you get a chance to take a job like that, you take it. And, you know, here he is. And, again, narrow miss against South Carolina again for the second year. That he does, like Oklahoma comes in, wins this game, and now he's sitting on the cusp again, having to come on the road in 2 weeks and play Auburn, that we all know is a crazy environment anyway, but it's a rejuvenated kind of feel Auburn with things that have happened, and their playoff lives are on the line in that game, and they're not playing well offensively. I mean, Ty Simpson's doing all he can do, but running game wise, they just don't have it. They just cannot run it. And so it puts a lot of pressure. Now, they have been playing a lot better defensively, but Oklahoma found some weaknesses and exploited that. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you go, man, this is a very, very beatable team, and the point spread shows that. And if Auburn can continue to build, Auburn's defense has been solid all year. Now, I know it wasn't against Vanderbilt, but look, I think DJ Durkin and Derek Nix learned some things in that game of some responsibilities they've got to relinquish back to their own sides of the ball. And so they'll try to clean all that up too. But my point in saying all that is that if he goes 9-3 again and loses to this Auburn team on the road, you know, I'm not sure that he doesn't want to leave himself, and I'm not sure that Alabama fans won't be glad to see him go. And I know that's wild, but it will be a mutual parting of the ways, Phil. And he's like, get me to Penn State, or if Lincoln Riley were to leave USC, get me to USC or something like that, where I feel like I'm in a better scenario. And I'm using some hypotheticals based on a conversation I had yesterday.
Well, those are all things that I've heard also. And,
yeah.
You know, and I'll say this. Is he a good fit for Alabama scheme-wise? I've got my question.
I don't know that he does. I just doesn't feel right.
Like something when Alabama can't run the football consistently. And look, I know from Lane Kiffin to Sark and all of that with Nick Saban changing the offense to go away from that downhill running attack. And it all worked out as long as the head coach is keeping the culture intact. Everything's fine.
Absolutely.
But the moment that guy's away and you don't have that physicality to lean on, then I think you start getting the play that you're getting now. And it's really hard to believe that Alabama's not getting two of the best running backs in the country year in and year out of the high school ranks. And I look at that offensive line and I go, why is that offensive line with Proctor and the rest of those dudes not able to grind out 4, 5, 6 yards every snap if they need to?
I'm with you.
Really, really do. And, you know, if you go back to Alabama even last year, I mean, the player that got the most grief for Alabama last year, of course, was Jalen Milroe. But, Brett, you take him off of that team last year and his ability to make plays out of the pocket and run the football, then they can't run it at all last year.
No.
He was their running game last year. And so if I'm an Alabama fan, I have a problem with that. I think all of
it doesn't fit their style. It doesn't fit their style, and it just hasn't felt right. Again, I'm not taking that. Neither one of us are taking anything away from him. He went 9-3 last year, but we all know. Again, I just think it's unrealistic expectations, and he does have a different style. And as long as you're winning, people aren't going to say anything. But when you start losing, and it's not the way you're used to playing the game, then people go, I don't know about this. And so, hey, look, add to the drama. What if he leaves? Who are they going to get? What if Lane Kiffin's saying, I'm staying at Ole Miss, or I've locked down, a deal with LSU already or Florida? Who's Alabama targeting? all of a sudden, and I'm not saying they would have gone after John Summerall or anything like that, but Auburn's already got him locked down, let's say. I mean, who you picking, man? This goes for Alabama too. There's not a pool of guys over there everybody's just clamoring to have. Now, can they entice somebody away from a program? Yeah, they have the power to do that because of their status and all, but it's going to be tough if this thing ends right here at the the first part of December, right at signing day and all this kind of thing. Now you got recruits going, I don't know who's going to be there. Things change, man.
And, hey, it could happen. Like, there's one thing I know about that Iron Bowl matchup and Alabama's expectation, and you keep them out of the playoffs for two consecutive years. I mean, that fan base is going to be in an uproar. And, by the way, we had a really good time having Brett's buddy Kyle Rush there at the Ben Russell game last night, and I was talking to him about that. We all think the world of Luke, and I'm proud for Luke and the growth that he's had, but there's nothing better for the podcast world and what we do, Brett, than poor play. And so I'm no different than most Auburn fans. I get a little humor out of watching other fan bases lose their mind, knowing that we have to lose ours every Saturday. So we're kind of just we're prone to not letting things bother us as much as other programs.
Well, our skin is so scarred. Yeah, we got so many calluses and scars on our skin. You can't cut through us anymore.
But it is fun to watch, and Luke's had some massive viewings on some post-loss shows, and I watch those and I get a feel for that program, and they're just not happy with what I said.
Yeah, they're winning, but it's like, it's kind of like they're not. They know that it's just not quite right. Things aren't gelling. And all right, let's get to the final break here for TV. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's, Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dadeville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
Dude, I ain't leaving as long as I'm catching them like this. And I'd give him like a 30-minute window. I'm like, if I don't catch one in the next 30 minutes, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And about that time, I'd catch another, and he'd go. And so they just add 30 minutes to the clock. So, all right, welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Final segment, very, very short. We only have about 2 minutes here for TV, so just closing it out. Really not a lot on tap here to talk about today. I mean, you got USC and Oregon, which, I mean, in our area, I mean, really, who cares? When you look at the SEC, you got Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Can Kentucky, the way they're playing, go in and knock off Vanderbilt? No. Missouri at Oklahoma, 7-3 Missouri, Oklahoma 8-2 Oklahoma. They win that game. They are poised for a playoff for sure.
I think they're going to.
Arkansas at Texas, and Texas just not good offensively either, man.
Well, you know, I saw an interesting stat yesterday, and it was on Arch Manning, and it was comparing him to a couple of the other Heisman Trophy contenders, and he was built up so much in the offseason, Brett, that it's almost unfair. I mean,
we all knew that. We all talked about that.
He's got 2,600 yards. I think they were showing he and Sayan's stats side by side.
Right.
And he's got like 2,600 yards of offense, and he's accounted for 26 touchdowns. And then Julian Sayan, who's considered a Heisman Trophy contender, is the exact same. So it's like, I mean, everybody just take a brief respite from telling everyone how terrible Arch Manning is. I mean, give him a little time. Sark, I think, handled it really well.
We live in.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they want you to just be prepared and ready to go out there and perform.
National championship, Heisman Trophy, freshman year or bust. I mean, or not freshman year, but, you know, first opportunity to start. If you don't go do all that, then you're just a failure. So, you know, I think they understand that. But, you know, just the way Sarkisian in big games and then the way their offense looks and executes, it's really not just about Arch Manning. It's just the feel of their offense in big games. And when, you know, Jason Caldwell said this last year, he said, you know, go look at the record. When Sarkisian's playing a team that's as good or better than him, even he loses. You know, he beats the other ones, but that's – you remember how hot of a name Sarkisian was. You know, let him keep laying eggs. You know, let him look down and be 7-3 multiple years and see how long Texas is going to ride with that. So then everybody's rear end's on the hot seat all the time. If you ain't, and Lord knows, down here at Auburn, you can ride 3 years out of terrible football till you just can't stomach it anymore and have to make a change. So Lord help, please. Can it just be? Can John Summerall, and I think that's who we all feel like it's going to be, come in here and actually take this program where it needs to go? So
Brett and I'll prod you all week, but get on a bus next Friday, head down south, come to Saraland, wear your maroon or wear whatever Miss Bedgood puts together for us to wear. I'm all for whatever theme that it may be, but I'm with her. Find a way on one of these buses, get down there, and let's have a big crowd, because we always have. We've always traveled exceptionally well on the road, got one of the best football communities in the state, and got a great opportunity this next Friday night to show the state that.
Yep, I agree 100%. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here on the Saturday Sports Countdown on TV and for social media. We'll hang on for about a second or two after we get off for TV. We appreciate it so much. We'll catch you all next week for more of the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.